Hi, good morning to you, my great students. Welcome to class once again. It's nice to be addressing you again using this medium. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this lesson. Today we're considering question tags. And remember, I remain Dakbodi Moloyi. Let's run briefly through the learning objective. After the end of the class, you should be able to define question tags. That's one. Number two, be able to state 5 rules guiding the use of question tags. And number 3, be able to give statements and add tags to them. And lastly, number 4, should be able to answer correctly 95% of questions on this topic. Before I go into the details of this topic, let's do correction to our last assignment. Last class we considered adjectives, and I said adjectives modify or qualify nouns and pronouns. And last class I gave you these 7 sentences, and I instructed you to identify the adjectives in them. This is one. I've underlined all the adjectives. This is qualifying paintbrush, telling you the number. There is another adjective, qualifying class, telling you the class, art class, no science class. This is an adjective here telling you about people. We call this adjective of number, many. Then, this is another adjective, article D, which is telling you about the fair. Then number 3, we have this as the only adjective here, duty free, telling you about the kind of shop, the way that is duty free. Then number 4, we have this. Who is intelligent? E, qualifying E. And number 5, you have blue. This is the adjective here, qualifying jacket. Number 6, the adjective here is 15, telling you about ruler. We call it adjective of number. And lastly, number 7, the adjective here is beautiful, telling you about life, that life is beautiful. Then to last class revision, I said adjectives qualify words for nouns and pronouns, and I said they can be in shape, they can be in number, they can be in color, and many more forms. They can even be national. And I also told you about proper adjectives that come in form of proper nouns. We have French cup, that's a proper adjective. And lastly, I said adjectives can be compared in terms of positive, comparative, and superlative forms. Very important. We go over them again. And to the main reason for this class, which is question tag. Let me say this before I go deep into the topic. This topic is very important for final year students and even other classes, SS1 and 2, in the sense that you're going to have at least 3 questions on this topic in your objective, at least 3 questions, which covers for 2 marks in your objectives. And mind you, 2 marks can be a determining factor between success and failure. 2 marks can move someone from 50 to 48. It can move someone from 80 to 78. It can change distinction to credit. So I want to appeal to please listen attentively and let's get these 2 marks together in class today. Very simple topic, but the application might be confusing if you don't listen well to me now and you don't grab some things from the class. The first thing is, what is question tag? They are short questions added at the end of statements. There is a wide difference between question and question tag. A question is a normal, rhetorical, or literary question you ask anybody. But a tag is added at the end of a statement. And it is used to do what? They are used to, number 1, confirm the truth about something. And number 2, to encourage a reply from the person you are speaking to. And how are they formed? They are formed in 2 major ways. They are formed with the addition of an auxiliary or modal verb and the appropriate subject. And that subject has to be in the pronoun form. E.g., didn't he? Didn't will take auxiliary verb and the appropriate subject, which is he. Then let's see examples here. Examples. We have Dayo here as the doer of the action. Dayo is not a Nigerian. We have this as the tag. You can see it is added at the end of the statement. They danced too well at the party. This is my tag, added at the end of the statement. We have been promised a new football field. Another tag that is added at the end of the statement. Titus is my best fish. I want to tell you that is not a true. That is not true. It's not a truth. No one knows my best fish. But for example's sake, this is my tag. Then, Corona causes death. That's, you can't argue that. This is a tag. Mind you, they were all added at the end of the statement. And see their composition. It takes a verb with the pronoun equivalence of the subject. Let's try and note that. Very, very important. Then, let's examine some rules that guide the use of question tags. First on the list is positive statement takes what? Negative tag. Let me make a brief illustration using physics, for example. For those of us who are science students, you've been taught in physics that it takes a positive wire to connect to a negative wire to bring light. Yes or no? Yes. That is why in most wire cable, you see the black and red wire. The black is for the neutral, which is the negative, while the red is for the live, which is a positive. So it takes the two of them to concur, to have power supply, either in your fan or in your bulb. And the same thing applies here. You can only attach a negative tag to a positive statement. That is, when the statement is positive, the tag has to be what? Negative. Like Jack is from Spain. Jack is from Spain. Is positive. Isn't is negative. Mary can speak English. Can is positive. Can't is negative. We like rice. Like here is positive. Don't is negative. We have bought a new bicycle. Have is positive. Haven't is negative. Kate was yesterday. Was is positive and wasn't is what? Negative. Then, to further examples in picture form, you can see examples here, well illustrated examples. All these are positive statements, and you can see them taking negative tags here. I will advise you to create time on your own to go through this later for proper understanding of the topic. Then we have number 2. Negative statements attract a positive question tag. The way a positive statement cannot take a positive tag, so also a negative statement cannot take negative tag. That is, a negative statement must take a positive tag. And all I did in the examples here is just to change the examples here from positive. I changed all of them to negative. And what is a negative statement? Negative statement is a statement that does not have no, that has no, that has never, that has not. That is, when your statement has any of these, it is negative. And for it to correspond with the tag, it must take a positive tag. You can see it here. Isn't is taking is. Cannot is taking can. Don't is taking do we. Have not is taking have. Was not is taking was. So we use positive question tag to back up negative statements. And for the picture effect, you can see it here. All these are negative statements with positive tags attached to them. I will advise you go through these pictures once again at your little time so you can learn more about this rule number 2. Then rule number 3, which is straightforward. If you listen well to me, when the verb in the main sentence is in the simple present tense form. Mind you, a verb is in the present tense form where the verb connotes habitual actions or daily action. Play, likes, attends, take, prefer. These are all simple present tense form verbs. And for the tag, they will take do or does for the tag. And from what we know, do is plural, does is what? Is singular. Is singular. That is when you have, when you use do with a plural subject and does with a singular subject. Here we have play, we have don't here. Don't is coming here to work because you can be plural or singular. Alison here, we have does here because Alison is singular. We have does. Deborah takes does. Then we don't. I don't. You know why I is taking don't? You know I does not take anything singular except am and was. It doesn't take anything singular. Then we can see them here. See here and see their tags. These are all examples in the simple present tense form, and you see it here. Never, buys. You can see it here. You can see the tag in them. So let's try and note these examples. Number 4 now. Number 4. If the verb is in the simple past tense, we use did. Note this for verbs. For the plural of do and does is what? The past tense rather. The past tense is did. Example, he does it always. He does it always. Does always. I'll put in the past tense as he did it. He did it always. This is a past tense. So for past tense form now, we use did. And you can see it here. Played is taking didn't. Liked is taking didn't. Attended is taking didn't. Took is taking the same thing. Preferred, the same thing. So when your verb is in the past tense form, the verb has no helping verb, but is in the past tense form, we use did in the tag. And you can see examples here. Well broken down examples here for be verb. You will see is here becomes isn't. The present tense studies here becomes don't. This is a negative form. Then past tense where here becomes weren't. You can find time to go through the other examples on your own. Then for the last example, which is statement connoting negative meaning. When a statement has a negative interpretation. Let me come again. The statement has a negative interpretation. There are some words that connote negativity. Words like hardly, never, seldom. When this kind of words are used, the tag must be positive. Because they connote negativity, the tag must be what? Positive. He hardly does he. They rarely do they. Deborah never do she. We seldomly do we. David hardly does he. Because they connote negativity, they've taken what? Positive question tags. And I want to say this briefly. You can see this as a summary of everything I've been saying so far. Isn't here as taken is. Wasn't here as taken was. Weren't as negative is taken were as positive. Then doesn't as negative, taken does here. Can't is taken can here. I want to do a quick recap of everything I've been saying so far. I've said a positive verb takes what? Negative tag. Then when we have helping verb, we use do. Verbs without auxiliary, I've told you, verbs without auxiliary, verbs like simple present tense and past tense. We use do, don't, does, and didn't for them. Then I am. This is very, very unique. I am does not take amon't. I am takes aren't. I am. Example, if I say I am your friend. The best thing is aren't I. The tag is aren't I, not amon't I. And when you have command, you use will you. The last thing when you have let's go home, shall we in the tag. So let's try and note this quick recap. It's very important we know them. Then let's do this exercise briefly. Let's do this exercise briefly. We match the statements with the correct tags. I'll give you 2 minutes to run through this exercise. I'm waiting for you. Take your time. Run through this snap test briefly. Let me see what you've learned in the class so far. So far. You spend 30 seconds. Take your time. Match the statements with the correct tags. Number 1 has been done for you. Number 1 answer is does. Number 2 answer is smiling at me. Number 3 answer is say I 5. Number 4 answer is looking like shower. Number 5 answer is smiling like Dio. Number 6 answer is frowning the face like Esther when she's hungry. We have 30 seconds left. We have 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. Go through your work now. Go through your work. Make sure your answers are correct, because I'll start marking in the next 10 seconds. I'll mark in the next 10 seconds. Yeah. For number 2, the answer is J. Let me do this way. Let me write my answer. Let me write my number beside them. This goes for 2. Then number 3, she has got 2 siblings. This goes for number 3, hasn't. Number 3, I am going with you. This goes for number 3, aren't I. This goes for number 4, aren't. Then you don't know him. This goes for number 5, do you. Number 5. We didn't see Jake. We didn't. Did we? This goes for number 6. This did we. He left early. Didn't he? This goes for number 7. Then they will share it. Won't they? This goes for number 8. Then I haven't told her. Have I? Number 9. She misses her mom. Doesn't she? Number 10. This is the end of the snap test. If you have 10, raise your hand. I owe you a gift. For 10 students, I owe you a sachet of water. You know that's in custom. A sachet of water, and if your own is well written, neatly written, I'll give you a bag of sachet water. You drink it as long as you want. Then let's go to the conclusion. All these rules have their diverse application. When they are misapplied, you will be making a statement that is grammatically wrong. So I want to appeal to you not to please misapply any of these rules. And number 2, a study of the rules. Take your time, study these rules again and again. That will make you perfect at their usage. And number 3, take time to personally assess yourself. Look for questions. Research questions on these rules. Research questions. Before you know it, by the time you try 20, 30 questions on these rules, you have a great mastery of the rules. And lastly, if you have any question, feel free to forward your questions to me on using my mail as darkpod.orimoloye@greenlandall.org. For your assignments, you have to do this for me. We have many other rules that I didn't mention in class. Write out the remaining rules guiding the use of question tag. And this last one, in your workbook, attempt the first classwork on this topic. Attempt the first classwork on this topic, which you have in your workbook. Therefore, reference material. All these materials will help you and equip you with more knowledge of the topic. So I want to appeal to you to please lay your hands on these materials, read them thoroughly, and you will be equipped with more knowledge of the topic. I want to say a big thank you to you for listening to me today. I know you've gained maximally from this class. However, create more time to study this topic so that you can retain more of what I've said and you can learn more. Remain blessed and stay safe. I love you all. Thank you.